Well, hello, friends. Well, the plan is to do a full flight video. Bugs, alarms, canceled IFR, and you name it, notwithstanding. So, let's get inside the flight deck. I don't know why it says flight events right here. That's a little odd. I can't see anything. It's dark out here out in Montgomery. But let's go ahead and switch our zoom type to manual. And before we lose our flashlight, let's go ahead and crank up the floodlights. All right, we'll get rid of our yoke here and left and right battery.
Clearance delivery
Left and right gen. APU gen.
to Tallahassee, ready to copy.
Start up the APU. Recognition. Collisions.
Takeoff runway 10, climb and maintain 5,000 feet.
5,000, okay.
Frequency is 124.0, squawk 7715.
VS 2500.
Bravo,
Mouse is all charged up, by the way.
Takeoff runway
Set 190.
maintain 5,000 feet. Departure on 124.0,
APU's at
squawk
almost at
7715.
100%. There we go.
Whiskey readback correct.
Right engine.
Ground on 121.7. Good day.
Fuel valve open.
Ground Cessna November tree
Nav
43
source
Bravo, whiskey
GPS.
requesting pushback.
Bearing 1 GPS. Release the parking brake so we can get pushed back. Speed bugs. VR is not 120, it's 139. VY is 190. And VAP is 144. All on. Wind on the PFD settings option 2. We are headed to Tallahassee for this very short 155-mile flight. 24 degrees Celsius outside, 3 knots out of the east-northeast, or east-southeast, I should say. Zoom in on the MFD. And we'll wait to get rid of that alarm here once the oil pressure gets addressed. Adjust our altimeter, 299.7. Pitot-static on. And we've got right engine up and running. We'll do left engine now. And start it.
Ground Cessna November tree 43 Bravo whiskey requesting
go.
the end of pushback.
Cessna November tree 43 Bravo whiskey request to end pushback received.
And we should lose that alarm here in a second once the left engine spools up. It's a 22.
Ground Cessna November tree 43 Bravo whiskey with mic ready to taxi.
Taxi light on.
Cessna November tree 43 Bravo whiskey taxi to and hold short of runway 10 by taxiway Foxtrot.
Taking off runway 10.
Contact tower on 119.7 when ready.
Same runway we landed on when we got here. There we go.
Taxi
Alarm's
and hold
gone.
short runway 10 using taxiway Foxtrot Alpha
That's
Cessna
still
3
spooling
Bravo
up.
whiskey.
47, 48, 49, almost to 60.6. Look outside. Looks like we got backed into another biz jet. You see this? Sorry, pal. It wasn't my fault. Let's get our... Whoops. Defaulted back to auto. Never fails. Okay. So we're clear to taxi. We're going to taxi off to the left. Actually, forgive me. Well, either way, left this way or right this way. I'm going to go right. And we've got our engines now all good. APU's off. And let's get going. Flaps. There we go. Well, we'll see how this goes. Montgomery to Tallahassee, very short flight, 155 miles. God knows what awaits us in terms of glitches and bugs and this and that and the other, but it's all right. As long as we don't CTD. All right, we're on the center line. In conditions like this, when you can't really see anything, I use the Visualize Simulator, and I just keep that white airplane right there on the yellow line, and that means we're right where we need to be. Just use the rudders, left and right. 4-knot tailwind right now, but we're going to turn around when we take off, and that'll be a headwind. See right here, going down this all the way to the end, and then we'll turn around. Little drifting. Expected, understandable. I'm trying to think of the last time I did a full flight night video. I can't remember. It's we'll be on East Coast time when we get to Tallahassee. At least I think Tallahassee is East Coast. Going a little too fast right now for taxi speed. So we'll ease off. Not too much mustard. I love mustard, but you don't want too much. Local time, Tallahassee is, yes, they're 3 hours ahead. So let's brake here as we make our left turn. The runway threshold.
Approaching runway 10. Enter runway.
Tower Cessna November, Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey, ready for departure runway 10. I have
All right.
to Tallahassee.
Hopefully the ATC works.
Cessna November 3 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey altimeter 30.02 wind 104 at 7. Cleared for takeoff runway 10.
All right, 104 at 7s. The winds are out of the east.
Cleared for takeoff runway 10 Cessna November, Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Let's get out on the runway. See the tower lights out there. Okay. Now, I've prepared you in advance. You're going to hear the ITT alarm, and we're just going to have to ignore it. Okay. Zoom out on the MFD. And there's somebody that looks to be on final, so we'll activate nav and start our timer, and we're good to go. Let's do it. Auto throttle set. Yes, it is. Okay, here we go, friends. Here comes the ITT alarm, okay? So just bear it with me, okay? Everybody's dealing with it. It's all over the boards, the ITT alarm. 4 knots coming right at us. 80 knots. There it is. 120, 130, 140, and rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Autopilot's engaged. Auto throttle is engaged.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey contact Montgomery departure on 124.0. Good day.
Okay, there's a handoff to departure. We're climbing nicely.
124.0.
2,500 feet per minute. 190, speed's good.
Departure Cessna November, Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey is at 1,000 feet, climbing 5,000 feet.
Cessna November 3 4 Tree Bravo
Turning to
Whiskey
intercept.
Montgomery departure altimeter 30.02 continue to accurate as planned. Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey climb and maintain 15,000 feet.
Up to 15,000, says the Whiskey. All right.
Climb and maintain 15,000 feet, Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Hopefully ATC stays with us.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey climb and maintain
Wow, okay.
Climb and maintain flight level 180.
We're flying at
Cessna 3 Bravo
27,000, flight level 270 on this very short flight. So the sooner we can get up there, the better. Because it's not going to be that long until they tell us to descend. So I'm going to set our VS. Actually, let's max it out, 3,500. Let's get up to where we need to be sooner rather than later. Hopefully have... I did a weather briefing. There's the ITT alarm again. Did a weather briefing for Tallahassee. And it's 73 degrees and partly cloudy. Winds out of the northeast. We're landing at runway 09, so might anticipate a little crosswind. Increase our speed. And look, I mean, I don't want to hear that 230. I don't want to hear that ITT alarm. And I'll show it to you here on the annunciator panel. See that ITT in red? Here it actually is a little high, but okay, now it's dipped back into the green, and yet it's still, I don't know, alarming in the verb sense of the word. And yet I can't acknowledge it. So just have to ignore. I don't know. Can't ignore it, I suppose, but.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey contact Atlanta Center on 120.55. Good day.
Zooming out to 35 Atlanta Center. Cessna Whiskey.
Going to 120.55 Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
Landing lights off.
Atlanta Center Cessna November 3
And
Bravo Whiskey
I
is
think
passing
to my
8,100
ultimate
feet,
horror,
climbing flight level
we still have our
180.
flaps deployed, so those are brought back in.
343 Bravo Whiskey Atlanta Center altimeter 30.02. Continue to agree as planned.
Little bright in the cockpit, so let's bring those down. And the screens are too bright.
Southwest 4425 contact Atlanta Center on 120.45.
God damn it, this wheel. And lower the MFD brightness as well. That's better.
120.45 Southwest 4425.
The right PFD is still bright, and we can fix that actually.
Going to 120.45 generic to Alpha Papa. FedEx Flight 7 contact Atlanta Center on 120.45. Good day.
All right. So we're still climbing. We're 11,900 feet, 227 knots.
120.45 FedEx Flight 7.
It's at 250. Let's set our climb rate even higher. What the hell, right? We're in a longitude, a light longitude. It's only me and one other person on this plane. So it's able to do it. I mean, it can handle the climb. Let's engage the FLC. Set the FLC at 265.
Atlanta Center Allegiant 1879er is at flight level 3.
A lot of weather down there. You can't really see anything, obviously, but
Allegiant 1879er Atlanta Center continue as planned.
just sort of scattered showers.
Flight 3 miles southwest. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 36 approach via AUVIA transition. Clear to AUVIA.
Sorry, I got nervous that they were talking to me. But I'm not going to be clear to the ILS when I'm 142 miles out. I hate the annunciator alarm, but what are you going to do? Hopefully they fix it. Okay, we're coming up to 18,000. We're going to get a further climb instruction. We're going to pass transition altitude
Transition altitude.
on cue. Let's see what happens. Set 290.
3 Bravo Whiskey climbed and maintain flight level 230.
Up to 230, so that's for whiskey. FLC's engaged.
35 Whiskey contact Atlanta Center on 120.45.
We'll set 245 in anticipation of them telling
Climb
us
and
to
maintain flight level 230
climb
Cessna
right
3
as we
Bravo
close in on... Wow, look at this.
Destination is
And Eddie's already given us the destination ATIS at KTLH. We're really hauling ass, which is good because we got to get up there. But you hear the ITT alarm, but ITT in Celsius is not in the red zone. So, granted, N1% is at 100, but that's the alarm we're getting is ITT. Let's go ahead and make sure our altimeters are set at 29902. Let's go ahead and switch back to VS. Climb at 3,500 feet per minute. We're 5,000 feet from our cruising altitude, and we're climbing at 3,500 feet per minute. So that's about, well, what, 75 seconds?
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey climbed and maintained flight level 270.
The 270 says Blue Whiskey.
Climb and maintain flight level 270 Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
Well, holy shit, we got icing.
Contact Atlantis Center on 120.45. Good day.
Did you notice that? Like, there was ice all over the... Look at this. There's ice all over the windows.
Atlanta Center Cessna November 343 Bravo Whiskey is passing flight level 245, climbing flight level
Whew.
270.
Hopefully that melts
The November 343
in short order.
The Atlantis Center continue to agree as planned.
Doesn't really seem to be affecting our airspeed. We got set at 280. It might be struggling a little bit, actually.
Generic 35 Whiskey contact
We're heavy
Atlantis Center on 120.55.
because of the ice.
Good day.
But we're coming up to cruising altitude 270. I'd expect to receive our descent instructions probably at about 90 miles out. All right, leveling off. See if we got that ice under control. Yeah, well, sort of. It's better, but still not great. It's okay on the starboard side of the aircraft. There is some ice on the wings. So you can tell that we're
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey contact Jacksonville Center on 134.3.
either IMC. That's just out of curiosity.
Generic November 6135 Whiskey.
Yeah, we're not IMC right now, I don't think.
Continue to AU.
I'm not seeing any reflections. Although I don't see any stars.
Bravo Whiskey.
Anyway,
Jacksonville Center Cessna November 343 Bravo Whiskey flight level 270.
anyway,
November 343 Bravo Whiskey Jacksonville Center continue as planned.
you can tell certainly that there's IMC below us because we can't see anything. There's nothing, you don't see any lights. So that's a sign, certainly. Set 320 on our speed. Let's gun it. Anyway, going to RNAV 09 at Tallahassee. Runway length 8,000 feet. Airport elevation 83. Approach course 0904. We'll go ahead and enter that. Using the HDG knob. We'll roll it over right to 0903.
Alaska 523 contact Jacksonville Center on 134.15.
Hopefully, I assume we'll get IFR clearance canceled again. That's frustrating, but that's a bug I can deal with.
134.15 for Alaska 523.
As far as our approach goes, I'll show you. Wait for it to populate. Doing the Kanpa Transition. Kanpa, where the hell is it? It's Kanpa, Radko, Heget, Zotny. Now, hard to find. There it is. Kanpa, Raggett, Heget, and Zotny. And at Radko, we need to be anywhere between 6,000 and 3,000 feet. At Heget, we want to be at 1,800 feet. And at Zotny, we want to be 800 feet. Total distance on this final approach
Bravo Whiskey descend and maintain
is 11.3 nautical miles, down to 17,000. So for whiskey.
17,000 feet Cessna.
So again, we weren't at cruise for very long, that's for sure. But we're getting our clearance to descend at 98 miles out, so that's pretty accurate.
FedEx 57 contact Jacksonville Center on 135.
Engage the VS. Descend at 2,200 feet per minute. And we'll begin slowing. We'll set it 310. Yeah, so not a lot in the way of scenery for you on this full flight video. But maybe kind of fun, to the extent that it illustrates one's ability to fly instruments without seeing a single thing outside, and yet still get you safely to your destination. This should encourage you, to the extent that you ever feel mystified by this sorcery that these amazing pilots manage to execute so frequently and with such aplomb. We're descending 24,300 feet at 312 knots at 2,200 feet per minute. We're 85 miles out and 23,900 feet, so that's fine, although we'll shallow out our descent rate slightly to 2,000 feet per minute. That's reflected right there. Minus 2,000 VS. Flying GPS, autopilot. Still getting master caution, but not master warnings on ignition and inertial separator. That's pretty funny because the Longitude does not have an inertial separator, but that's okay. We'll slow our descent, or shallow our descent rate now to 1,800 feet per minute, and we'll slow to 300 knots indicated. 20 miles out here, you can see that. You can change the range on your MFD, your multifunction display, using this knob right here. 15, 10. See how it says 10 now? Gears up. Flaps, spoilers obviously down. Cabin pressure is 6,680 feet. Changing at a rate of 499 feet per minute. Outside air temperature, minus 16. That's also shown here, minus 16. ISA, International Standard Atmospheres. Flying to KABL, as it's shown here. It's actually Cablo. And ETE shows us 4 minutes, 55 seconds to Cablo. And Cablo is right here. Cablo is before the IAF of Kanpa, right there. There's Cablo. Okay. Clear to descend to 17,000, and that's what we're doing. 70 miles out, 20,500 feet. That's just damn near perfect. I'm looking at my ForeFlight app, and I'm seeing a lot of green and a few spots of yellow. So we're definitely flying over weather. Not dramatic weather, but clouds, rain. Not friendly in terms of visuals. $65 miles now. We'll see what happens when we get to 17,000. 19,000 feet. 64 miles now. Want to be at 18,000 feet AGL at 60 miles, which we will be. But the 35325 says 3 Boston.
325 for Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Jack Center, Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey with you. 18.2 for 17. 182 for 17,000. Anything above 18,000, you gotta say flight level 1819200. Anything below that, you say in the thousands. 60 miles out, 17,700 feet. I expect to get further descent instructions, but we'll go ahead and set it at 295.
Southcoast 4999 contact Jacksonville Center on 134.3. Good day.
How's that for a visual? A black screen. With this weird flight events thing right here.
Transition altitude. Nearest
134.3.
altimeter,
Southcoast 4999.
Betty says nearest altimeter is 299er. Sim shows it is 29908.
Descent and maintain 11,000 feet.
Down to 11,000, Cessna Whiskey.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube lately about spatial disorientation. And it's stunning how reliant you need to be and must be on your instruments. Because in a situation like this, look around. I can't see anything. Now, granted, I don't have to deal with the G-forces and motion and turbulence and all that. I'm just sitting here in my study. But I suppose if I ever get back to real flying, it might suit me because I really am constantly looking at my instruments. At 285, then 280, 280 slowing. I mean, I kind of trust my instruments by default. But that's easier said than done when you're dealing with the sensorial input that people have to deal with in real aircraft. And I felt those as well. So, I'm seeing signs of life, signs of civilization. We're coming out underneath the deck, I suspect. 47 miles out, 280 knots, 14,500 feet. As we get ready to close in on Cablo. And after Cablo is Kanpa, the IAF. Initial approach fix. A few planes flying around. There's somebody out there. There's the ground. Not hugely populated here in this area as we close in on Tallahassee, but looks good. I'm seeing some highways. When I zoom out, those fade a little bit. I'm glad my mouse's battery is back up. I hate having to worry about that. 42 miles out, 13,000 feet. Slowing at 275. Okay.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Expect RNAV runway 9 approach via Kanpa Transition. Clear to Kanpa.
All right, we'll descend to 3,000. We'll expect RNAV 09 via Kanpa. That's the whiskey. Okay, good.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Expect RNAV runway 9 approach via Kanpa Transition. Cleared to Kanpa Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
So as I said, 3,000 is our first descent instruction altitude, and then 1,800. And we'll see if we get 800. I assume we'll probably cancel IFR again.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey traffic is 9 o'clock 4 miles at 14,600 feet.
There he is, right there.
Report them in sight.
I got him. Traffic's in
Cessna
sight.
Tree
3 Bravo
have
Whiskey.
the traffic.
Americade 82 traffic.
36 miles. We'll shallow out our descent rate now to 1,200 feet per minute. 36 miles out and 11,100 feet. Anyway, not to wax expert, but I mean, I can definitely see how these spatial disorientation disasters all seem to stem from not trusting your instrument. You know what I mean? You get it in your head that the instrument somehow they're wrong, something's wrong with it.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey contact Tallahassee approach on 128.7.
28.7, 3 Bravo Whiskey. Good night.
Going Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Tallahassee approach. It's 3 Bravo Whiskey at 10-4 for 3,000.
Is at 10,500 feet, descending 3,000 feet.
Cessna November 343 Bravo Whiskey Tallahassee approach altimeter.
Slow us down here as we close in on 10,000 feet, down to 250.
Landing gear.
Get that landing gear alarm as usual.
Landing gear.
We do have the ground in sight, though, and that's encouraging. There we go. See? Looks great. Anyway, no, I'm just saying, I definitely get it in terms of you really need to, your mind, you know, I feel for these guys who've gotten themselves into these pickles because, you know, your body, your mind is telling you, no, 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 you are descending. No, you are climbing. No, you are in a right turn. No, you're in a left turn. Even though your instruments are right here in front of you telling you exactly how you're oriented. It's, you know, I've never flown IFR. I've flown IMC. I've never flown IFR, and I've never flown IMC as the PIC. Only second seat, sort of as a ride along. But it is very disorienting. But that's what makes trust in the instruments so much more important. All right, let's start slowing down here. We're just 26 miles out, getting ready to make a little bit of a right turn and then a hard left, 90-degree left. So we don't want to be going too fast when we make that left turn, this left turn right here, because it's kind of unforgiving in that you got to make it. So we don't, if you're going really a little fast there, we only got an 11-mile final, which is great. I love an 11-mile final. But it's not one that allows you to be screwing around trying to line up. You want to be stabilized, orderly, organized, have your shit together as you line up for final. You don't want to be messing around trying to find things when you're closing in on the runway. 20 miles out now, it's 7,600 feet, so we do need to increase our descent rate slightly, which we'll do to 1,800 feet per minute, and we'll slow to 190 and just bear that annoyance.
Landing gear.
Hopefully he stops here in a second. Let's go ahead and use our disconnect the auto throttle and use our speed brakes to help slow us down. I did need to increase our descent rate a bit just to get down, because we're at 6,800 feet now at 20 miles out. But we're good, we're good. Let's bring that back in, and we'll set 180. They're making that right turn. We'll re-engage the auto throttle. Still having a little bit of trouble slowing down. Kind of interesting. Showing 196. Yet I've got 182 set. Make sure that is... Alright, well, we're okay. We're going to use our speed brake. Slow us down. Get us 17 miles now, 5,500 feet. Slow to 1,200 feet per minute. We do have an RNAV approach. Hopefully it works. Winds are only 9 knots coming at us right now out of the south-southeast. 5,200 feet, 16 miles. Re-engage the auto throttle. .170. We'll go outside, put down a notch of flaps. Oh, that explains it. Our speed brakes were still deployed. Well, notch of flaps. You see it all here, friends. I watch these YouTube videos. Oh, the guys, they never remember to bring in their speed brakes. Oh, they're so stupid. I get it, man. Okay, anyway, we're good. Landing lights on, and the airplane is depressurized. We're gonna make our left turn.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey descend and maintain 1,800 feet.
Okay, good. We haven't gotten our IFR plan dumped yet.
Descend
1,800.
1,800 feet, Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
14 miles out. We're doing 180 knots. About to make our left turn. Passing 4,000. Descending 1,800 at 1,400 feet per minute and 178 knots. All very good. The landing lights are on. Here's the left turn. See, and again, you can't see anything, but I can see it here. You see what I mean? This tells me exactly what we're doing. Let's go ahead and slow to 165. 11 miles out. See exactly what we're doing. We're turning left. Airport's going to be in front of us. There it is. There's our runway. (160). Runway's dead ahead. Approach course 0904, and we're at 0902 right now. I'm sorry, approach course is 0903, and we're at 0902, so we're good. 9.9 miles, let's go outside. Can't really see much, but I'll try to silhouette the wheels. Gears are down, gears down, gear is down. There they come. You can kind of see them against the city lights of Tallahassee. Looking good. Go back inside. We'll do another notch of flaps. We'll go back inside. We'll slow down to our approach speed of, what did I say it was? 144. Okay, we're good. Stable, good to go, but we're no longer descending, so we're gonna reset our altitude. Oh boy, we're going to Thorazine voices.
Tower Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey 8
Minimums are 400 feet, so we're gonna set 400 feet.
Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey Tower. Altimeter tree 0.01 wind calm, cleared RNAV runway 9er approach.
Winds listed as calm.
Cleared RNAV
Altimeter is
runway 9er,
3001.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Showing us 1,200 feet AGL. Not seeing any love yet from the RNAV. Oh, look! Look, it's coming up!
Wind calm, cleared to land runway 9er.
Cleared to land, runway 9er.
Cleared
That's
to
really
land
speed.
runway 9er,
Activate
Cessna Tree
APPR.
Bravo Whiskey.
We got airspeed set at 144, and yet we're holding 150. That's a little strange. Showing us 5.4 nautical miles out, which to me seems a little bit low. But I'm looking at this. Okay, hold on here, friends. Autopilot, it's going to be disconnected. It seems like they're bringing us in a little low here, so let's disconnect the auto throttle. I mean, we're still 4 miles out. Get that airspeed up. I mean, I was following the Magenta Diamond on that RNAV, but it brought us in low, so I'm actually climbing now. Now we're back to red and whites. Oof, that was a little tense, wasn't it? Zoom in on the MFD. (140) full flaps. So incredibly disorienting dealing with night. I'm just, you know, you get rusty. 1 mile final. Definitely coming in a little bit high. I'm looking for some reds on those poppies, but I'd rather be a little high than a little low. That's putting it mildly.
500.
Okay, we got 1 red, 3 whites. 2 and 2. 3 and 1. Two and 2. All right, we're going in. Center line. 9, runway 9 confirmed. Spoilers are up, reversers on. All right, friends. 65 knots. Well, we got a little left turn here coming up. That was an adventure. Here's our turn. Use these rudder pedals like crazy.
Bravo Whiskey, turn next taxiway.
Dealing with our Thorazine voices since we lost our
Bravo Whiskey, contact ground on 121.9er.
lost our Azure
Going
voices.
to 121.9er Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
I'm sorry. I just laugh with those crazy voices. Okay, anyway, let's zoom in. All right, well, welcome to Tallahassee, local time, 7:53 p.m. Let's go outside. We'll bring in those spoilers, which you can't really see. We'll go back inside, look outside, bring in the flaps. Runway 279er. Flaps are back in. Go up front. Turn off the landing lights, turn on the taxi lights, turn off the pulse lights, and stop the timer. 33 minutes. All right, let's go. Let's contact ground and taxi to parking,
Ground
option
Cessna
3.
November Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey, taxi to parking.
Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey, taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha.
Taxiing to general aviation parking
Okay.
using taxiway Alpha Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Let's go park. Now that we're in Tallahassee. 2 flights in one day. I haven't done that in forever. Well, maybe how often I use the sim as a function of the state of my life. That might be it. There's our parking space. Okay, good. So we don't have a long way to go. Taxi light off. And let's see if we can find our guy. I think I see some. Are those flashlights? Let's see. All right. I think we're going to see some flashlights here in a second. You see them? There they are. Done. All right, friends. Well, you got to see it. Right engine. You got to see it from beginning to end. Goofy Azure problems. Goofy. Trying to turn off the wing inspection light. It's annoying. ITT alarms. This, that, whatever. I don't think I even got a chance to get a screenshot. Dag nabbit. Anyway, it's alright because nobody watches this anyway. Alright, we'll kill the left engine. We'll drop to our logbook screen. We'll be robbed of our landing credit. KMGM to KTLH, 30-minute flight. Hope everybody has a nice week. And we're off to Georgia next. Bye.